18 or older is able to make the cognitive decisions to decide what type of birth control that they would like to use. Yet, some women 35 and under will ask to be able to get a tubal litigation. However, doctors feel that it's not a good decision for any woman 35 and under due to the fact that they might change their mind later on. Here, I talked to Lori George, who is a woman that was denied due to her age, and then later was able to get her tubes tied, only to later decide a refer.
Yes, I did when I was 22, after my third daughter. It was a difficult delivery. Lots of bleeding and lots of issues after regarding my uterus and the way that it healed. My daughter came out so fast that it tore my uterus and I bled and bled. And when I mentioned to my doctor just the stress of having a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and a newborn, I said I've had enough children, and he would not tie my tubes. I tied my tubes. They did a laparoscopic for my belly button because I just had the baby, so that meant that my uterus was still enlarged, and my ovary fallopian tubes were still up to the top, right, raised up. So they did a small incision and cauterized my tubes. So it didn't make much difference with it made my menstrual cycle a little heavier, but nothing too crazy. But I felt very relieved having it done. It took 6 months, and then I finally had it done. I had it done November of 1994, and I was fortunate because for the next fiscal year, starting January of 95, you had to pay back then $1,500. So I think now it's about $3-4 grand now to have it done. But when I had it done, I wasn't given the proper tutorial of what to expect.
If there was more information discussing about more about the pros and the cons when it comes to tubal litigation, about getting it and then the reversal, where do you think that would help to get better information regarding that? Because
the doctor that I had that prepared me to get my tubes cut after my 4th child, he was pretty communicative about it all. He was really good about it.
A guest with me named Jamie, and going to be discussing a little bit more about their experience with doctors who have denied this individual their tubes tied. So give me what your experience was like when you were asking the doctors when you wanted your tubes tied.
Well, after my first son, CAS was involved, so I asked if I could get my tubes tied, and they're just like, well, you're too young. I was 23 years old, and I was told I was too young to get my tubes tied, which to me seems to be unfair because I don't want to go through what I went through with my first son and CAS involvement. And unfortunately, it did happen again. I ended up getting pregnant 9 months later after being told no. My second child, I asked again if I can get my tubes tied because I don't want any more. I don't want to go through this again. And again, I was 25 at the time. Wait, I just turned 26. So I was told again, no, I'm not allowed to because 26 is too young. I could want more children. I went through a major depressive episode. I didn't take care of myself. And my doctor decided, oh, birth control will help you. The Depo-Provera shot. And the Depo-Provera is just full of hormones. And full of more depression. Like, if you're depressed when you take any type of birth control, it could just make it worse. And it honestly did.
And And when this happened, did you consider of looking at different doctors that could be willing to tie your tubes, or did you feel like there wasn't enough resource to help individuals to know where to look for?
They didn't give me any resources, and even when I tried to find resources online, it was very touch and go on what doctors to call, because some of them were like faith-based, and a lot of the places.
As we spoke to Lori, George, and Jamie had similar experiences with doctors feeling that they were too young to make the decision to get their Tubal litigation, to get their tubes tied. I'm Cassandra Anderson, here signing off.
Get your tubes tied, or like to discuss getting your tubes tied, or faith-based.
The max doing surgery. So I understand. I think I would have had the tubes tied and just left it at that.